Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. When I first started this work, there was days where I felt so off.
All of this, everything I just told you, was written the day you were born and could be handed to you. So I did all of this for my kids before we ever left the hospital because kids can't talk and I want to know about them. I want to get to know their life path and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's David. On today's interview, we're going to be using tarot, astrology, and numerology to look at Cristal Jacobo's life path. If you're interested in learning more about your own life path or to get started, please click on the links below. If you're also interested in learning more about Cristal or how you could work with her, please check the links below as well to see how you can connect with her. Tell me about you, kind of what you do broadly for those who won't know you, and then how people can connect with you if they resonate with you. And then
So my name is Cristal Jacobo. I am a soul embodiment coach. So I help women, men, everyone tap into their soul, kind of do the internal work and see what's stopping us from achieving like the next level that we're desiring the most. I am also a breathwork teacher. So I have a certification program and I certify people in breathwork. It's a 6 month container. It's honestly one of my favorite containers because a lot of people come into this container for 6 months. They learn how to have deeper conversations, how to facilitate, how to help others use their breath to connect with themselves. And there's a lot of ahas that happen in the container. Um, so that's what I do. I'm a soul embodiment coach and a breathwork teacher. And the best way to find me is on Instagram. I'm very, very active on Instagram. There's also a podcast that I host that it's called Soul Radio, where we have deep conversations with individuals from different backgrounds, talking about the different moments in their life that have shifted them to go after their more. We also run an annual event. We run retreats. There's a little bit of like so many things that happen in our community. But if any of that calls you, you can usually find all the information on my Instagram or just typing in my name at www. My first name Cristal and my last name Jacobo, cristaljacobo.com.
And then next question I have is on a scale of 1 to 10, how connected do you feel with your life path and what you were meant to do?
I want to say like a 10.
That's
I feel
fantastic.
really good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I always tell you, like we'll go through your charts, your reports. I don't know if you've gone deep on any of that in other ways, but like I would say that sounds like perfect to a T. And I don't know if you saw like because I've surveyed like at least about 3,500 people or something like that, and the average is like a 4.
Yeah, I have a common question that I ask people. I was like, hey, so what makes you happy? It's a different question. But everybody that I meet, I'm like, hey, what makes you happy? And the average person that gives me an answer is probably like 4 people no out of like all the people that I've surveyed. And I'm like, it's just that question alone shifted a lot for me. So
Yeah,
I can definitely see that
that's
number.
that's great. So first one is you are. So I do the basics for everybody. You know, sun, moon, rising. So you are sun in Aries, and I'm sure you're aware of Aries, and you resonate with a lot of the energy and stuff like that. But obviously, a lot of them are assertive, freedom-loving individual, strong need for independence, can be headstrong at time. Provides life presents you as challenges. You like to meet them head on. The ability to focus on your own goals to the exclusion of others is a healthy trait, but like all things, balance is needed. And then you must sometimes take other people's points of view into account as you go forward. And then there's overall a positive sign because the sun is Leo, which is also fire, and Aries is fire, so fire feeds fire. So that is, they're in harmony with each other, having it in your sun and Aries. And then this one I'd say, and this will come up in your tarot reading when you see it, is your own personal health and vitality, which can be drained through working with other people. So it's possible you could be, suffer ill health, or realize, or might have done that when you were younger and really didn't know how to tap or protect yourself from that energy. So it might be prone to getting sick or allergies or things like that. So then you need to protect yourself. And you'll see in your tarot card reading, which I'll send separately, you had one is the Nine of Pentacles, which is really like, I would call it the mental health kind of spa day self-care card. So I don't know if you have a specific practice that you do daily, but since this is like overt and out in the open, it would suggest that you should have, whether it's meditation, journaling, or whatever the case might be for you, like a true regular routine of self-care practice. Because if you're a very sensitive person who can connect with other people, you can obviously sometimes carry on the weight of whatever you're bringing into you.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. When I first started this work, there was days where I felt so off and I didn't know what was happening. But because I can connect with so many people's energies, it's very crucial for me to be on my A game with breath work by myself, for myself, before I serve my community, before I show up. So I can definitely resonate.
Yeah.
I do breath work and I do journaling. Those are my main two go-tos. The other thing that I do is I go on walks pretty often just to kind of connect with my own thoughts, release. These are walks where I literally connect with my emotions. By some days I'll go on a walk and I'll come back crying. It's just, and I always tell people, like, it sounds weird because there's nothing wrong, but it's just, because of the work that I do, I process a lot of emotions and I connect with a lot of people's energy. So I allow myself to feel whatever I need to feel.
Next is your moon energy. So you do know what your moon energy is?
I don't actually.
You don't? Okay. Then we're gonna get into
Yeah.
hopefully some of the new stuff. So your moon is in Virgo. And so that's good earth energy. So you've got this fire, now you're bringing in some earth energy. So this says you'll experience a strong link between the emotions, your emotions, and your body. That's why if you don't do the self-care, you can actually perpetuate yourself getting sick. And also you have a need for perfection. You may become ill under stress. And it says your mother may be a critical or also a perfectionist. That might be where you've gotten that. And then she will provide you with structure and order.
Okay.
Does that resonate with you at all? Are you at
Yeah.
all perfectionist energy?
Yeah. And I think a lot of that is stuff that I'm learning to sit with, because especially growing up, I mean, I have my PhD, so I was just kind of like never enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I have all my degrees. I didn't get them for the right reasons, because I think I got them to be validated by my parents and to show them that, their hard work paid off, that they came from Mexico with literally nothing. And I just wanted them to be proud and to realize like everything paid off. Until I always tell my clients, like, I had everything I've ever wanted, like, to what I knew. I had the dream house, the dream car. I was the youngest teacher in the district. I had checked off every single box. I was engaged, and I still felt like a stranger in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that is me unlearning the perfectionist qualities that sometimes I still feel creeping in.
Yeah. And then let's see. Do you know where your ascendant is?
No, I haven't done like deeper.
Okay. So your ascendant is in Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio sun sign. So now you have fire, earth, and water. So it's a good mix if you kind of figure out how to put it together.
Okay.
And so water, deep emotional energy. So this says, you're more likely to wait till you feel comfortable before pursuing your purpose. And it says you're also more likely to depend on other people to take the initiative. Scorpio is a fixed sign, denoting you're really fixating on purpose, resolution, self-reliance, and independence. You can be shrewd, resourceful, perceptive, secretive, proud, and reserved. And you're fated to experience some battles in life. Scorpios love drama and ups and downs, resulting in possible crises of your emotional state, physical health, or public status. The key to achieving your true purpose is to act with integrity at all times. You have a strong will, which is the best applied to achieving positive results. And in your tarot reading, with that as well, is one of the first cards you had on your life path is Justice, which is really like, to me, this says like karma's in play. And that's, I even said in your reading, like, you should always act with integrity on this life path, because that's where the karma will come, because the sword can cut on both sides. So if you are always treating people fairly and acting, with integrity, then you're going to really reach where you're meant to be. And that's why it's almost like the karma of it is things will kind of fall into place. It sounds like lots in a short period of time, since we last connected, things are falling into place, because once you get in line with that, it's almost the karma that's coming to you is almost like what you've already deserved to have, which is things to be planned out for you and easy to get to your path. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that.
a lot of people will know their sun sign. Many people may know their, moon. And again, as I mentioned, like I'm against fast food tarot. I'm against fast food astrology, especially Instagram is famous for it. And I perpetuate some of it too. But like all the memes and stuff like that of like your one sun sign is going to tell you everything you ever need to know about yourself. And that's not necessarily true because you'll see in your chart and report, everyone has like 75 different aspects, each of them equally as important as sun sign. We just don't know anything about them. So why I love doing these for people is because it's almost like a puzzle. You get all these puzzle pieces, and literally I do this, but when I give people just the charts and reports without kind of my processing it, they're like, I don't get this. This is pulling me this way. This is saying that way. I don't understand. But for me, it's like, okay, this is how I can kind of put the puzzle together and figure out how things come. So I kind of ordered them in different, a different path for you to kind of roll it out. So hopefully it makes more sense to you. So the next one we're going to go to, which is all so many things we get to your life path of like, why 10 out of 10 on your life path makes perfect sense, because there's so many things that are here for you. And so one is your moon is trine, which just means with your point of fortune. So there's this like point of good luck in space. It's kind of an abstract point. And your moon is able to flow energy between it very easily. And your moon is obviously related to your emotions and where you want to feel secure. So it says good fortune is likely to feature in your life, particularly in connection with women. When your self-esteem is strong and you're feeling stable, you can attract wealth, health, and happiness, particularly through your relationships with women. However, if you're feeling upset, lost, or lonely, you may be tempted to compromise your good fortune. You will need to ensure that you remain at peace with your own emotions, and all will be well. Kind of then getting back to your tarot card reading with the Nine of Pentacles and so then you have what's called the white moon, which is really about in tarot it would be the high priestess, or that really deep moon Cancer energy. And so it says your Selena is in Libra, so you're very observant. You have a natural understanding of human interactions. A quick assessment of any social situation gives you the immediate sense of the interplay. You're also quick and generally good judge of character. You're able to influence individuals and groups using charm and compassion to ensure that others are comfortable and comforted. This is a powerful gift which, put to good use, can inspire the best in other people. Your destiny is therefore likely to be linked to a caring or creative field. You may also have an innate artistic talent that uplifts and inspires those around you.
I remember my friends would tell me, like, I just like hanging around with you because I feel really, really good with you. I was like, why? I don't know. And they were like, we just like it. We just like being around you because I literally feel so confident when I'm around you. And I never understood why. Now, years into this, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah. They had, kind of your past, your upbringing. So it says, do you ever feel like the odd one out in your chosen profession? You are talking, but no one else listens. Perhaps you wonder why you're the one who is always overlooked for promotion. That's because you're different in a good way. You're a prophet in your own profession, but your skills are not necessarily of an imminent practical nature. Therefore, other people don't immediately see the measure of your worth. This can be painful, particularly if events or people trigger subconscious recollections of rejection. All of this, everything I just told you, was written the day you were born and could be handed to you. So I did all of this for my kids before we ever left the hospital, because kids can't talk and I want to know about them. I want to get to know their life path and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I want to hear from you, like, how hard was that? You just said you were an achiever, but may not be on your life path. Like, how hard and painful was the transition for you? And had you, like, a lot of this probably resonates with you, sounds like the perfect path. I'm like, high school you probably could have used this, or at least felt like as you're making those tough decisions and jumping without knowing where it would go. And now if you can go back and talk to yourself, like, listen, it's all going to work out just fine. Just do it. Just go for it. But like the anxiety, the sleepless nights, the worry and all that kind of stuff. Like, tell me a little bit about that for you.
Yeah. So
I'm sure there was some conflict with it, because you're like, your parents are like, hey, I got a PhD, but you know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to go.
Yeah. So growing up, I think I was, like I said, I was always trying to prove to my parents that their sacrifice was worth it. I am the oldest in my household. I've carried a lot of the burden of, like, explain to your parents what's going on. I checked off every single box, like I said, the school, the degree, everything. And then I did that for about 5 years. until I started questioning my own life. Like, is this it? Is there more? What's going to come next? I think hurt that happened was very rough because we there has to come a point in your life where you realize like nobody in this world is going to understand your path besides you. And people don't have to. And I was still looking for validation from my parents. I think that moment of admitting like almost like I had failed myself is what allowed me to start finding myself again. Yeah, and we got rid of everything. Like I sold the house, I got rid of the car, I quit my job, I got all my clothes, like donated them. Like I have to believe that it's possible for me. And it's
Yeah.
okay for me to start over and it's okay for me to get rid of everything because I'm willing to bet on myself.
So your point of fortune again is in Taurus. So it says you will discover joy through stability and your ability to build firm foundations. Surrendering to the forces of nature will bring you peace. So I think that will help with some of the perfectionist type of things. And then your point of fortune's in your seventh house. It says your greatest joy comes through union. Giving to others is the key to your self-fulfillment and happiness. So I guess the last question I would have for you is like, who would be the right person? Who's your avatar? Who's the right person to send your way for anything that you do to be of service to people?
So I think it's anybody and any woman who's going through a feeling of like, I'm feeling lost.
Uh-huh.
Any woman who's feeling like there's more, she's just wanting to connect more to herself. Because that's what our community cultivates is community culture. It's helping you step into more of your happiness, your confidence, your desires. Because we've seen it over and over. But when a woman like feels so confident in herself, she raises powerful kids and encourages powerful like husbands, and it's just a whole thing that happens when a woman feels like she can stand in her power.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm a soul embodiment coach and a breathwork teacher. And the best way to find me is on Instagram. I'm very, very active on Instagram. There's also a podcast that I host that it's called Soul Radio, where we have deep conversations with individuals from different backgrounds talking about the different moments in their life that have shifted them to go after their more. We also run an annual event. We run retreats. There's a little bit of like so many things that happen in our community. But if any of that calls you, you can usually find all the information on my Instagram or just typing in my name at my first name Cristal and my last name Jacobo, cristaljacobo.com.
That's fantastic. And then